Whoosh! Little Carl barely avoids me on this bright summer morning as he rockets past me at top speed. I watch as his skinny legs carry him down the street, his mop of sandy brown hair bouncing to and fro. He makes a wide, sweeping turn 2 doors down, the sun glistening off his blue-on-blue diamondback, his face set in intense concentration, his tongue sticking out of his mouth. Here he comes. I know what's coming. Little Carl sets up on me like a lion hunting his prey. He is almost upon me, his front wheel sliding past, his body weight jutting forward over the handlebars, his feet just in the right position on the pedals of that blue-on-blue. He lifts his rear tire, turns his wheel ever so slightly, and with the grace only an 11-year-old lanky kid can muster, he throws his 80 pounds violently forward and to his right. His wheel swings toward me like the pendulum of some giant otherworldly clock. Bam! Bullseye! His back tire crashes into me with a bone-jarring crunch. That blue-on-blue moves past, and 2 doors down, he makes the turn, tiny little tongue sticking out of his mouth. I love this time we spent together, little Carl and me. Kick out after kick out on this beautiful summer morning. It's that memory of a youthful tongue sticking out of the corner of my mouth as I glide 2 doors down that makes me stop and ponder a memory. Where have I seen such a tongue and a mouth? I don't need to really think about such a question to whom it belongs. Of course, his tongue is not that of a lanky little 11-year-old boy, and his concentration not set on the havoc he's going to wreak on the trash can sitting at the corner. The tongue I see now is Big Carl's tongue. Big Carl, my dad, pulling on a long-handled breaker bar as he attempts to loosen the nut that won't give as he rebuilds that 455 Olds. The tongue that somehow aids him in the quest to keep moving his polishing rag in furious circles, around and around his most prized possession, soon to be so shiny that it burns the eyes if one looks too long. It's that tongue that makes me think of bunny hops, kickouts, and wheelies. The year was about 1980 or so, and the California sun beat down on the asphalt driveway of our 4-bedroom, ranch-style home in a sleepy little far-out suburb, destined to be a sprawling concrete jungle as far as the eye can see in another decade or so. But for now, the days of mass shootings, fentanyl, and non-stop natural disasters were still up the street, around the corner, and a transatlantic flight away from this scrawny little boy and his dad. This particular summer morning, I woke with a huge yawn and a stretch from underneath my Speed Racer comforter. I can hear the muffled sounds of what seemed to be 100 lawnmowers, undoubtedly being pushed by stout little men, lanky little teenagers, and even a few curler-headed moms. The sound of a distant lawnmower and the smell of fresh-cut grass, still, some 40 years later, can stop me in my tracks. This is a memory that tingles the belly and makes me smile. If I could live in this memory of lawnmowers and fresh-cut grass, no one would ever find me again. For here I would stay, all tingly and smiley. Today, though, I will not be held captive by such wistful smells and noises. My bare feet swing to the shag carpet below, and in a single bound, I am out the door of my bedroom, down the hall, and ready for my culinary delight. Maybe if you're a child of that era, you can guess this wonder of early morning gastronomy. Yellow hearts, blue diamonds? That's right, you guessed it. I sit at the table with a spoon in my hand and my elbow jutting towards the ceiling in some double-jointed pose as I shovel the glorious contents of the bowl into my mouth. I can still hear my mom telling me, I just bought those Lucky Charms yesterday, and I won't go to the store until next week. When they're gone, they're gone. And they were gone. I retract my elbow from its disjointed pose, belch as any 11-year-old would, push out my chair with a slam, and I'm gone. Like Flash Gordon, I'm in my room to put on my brown toughskins, my white OP tank top, my puka shell necklace, and last but not least, my Hawaiian Vans. Back out to the hall, through the entryway, and out the door to the front of the house, I run like an Olympic athlete in the prime of his career. Sitting where I threw it the evening before, next to the big garage door, is my blue on blue. I grab it like the world may end at any moment, my pulse pounding, maybe from the sugar-filled cereal, probably, or from my future morning of bunny hops, kickouts, and wheelies. This thought lights my soul and makes my heart sing as my foot hits the pedal and my bum hits the seat. My wheels just begin to turn. My future so exciting and bright when I hear the garage door open with a lurch. And Big Carl utters the words that stop my heart, make my blood turn to ice, and my little inner boy scream like the whistle of a steam train. Son, I need your help. Aw, Dad, can't I just play today? A huge knot forming in the pit of my stomach. I know exactly what the answer will be. I'm no lawyer. At this age, not able to formulate any intelligent protests that may sway Big Carl. But from my vantage point, now at this memory overlook, I'm happy that my dad did not give in to my youthful laziness. My shoulders slump forward and my eyes no longer shine with that future greatness. I drop my bike, drag my feet, and enter the dark cavern of our garage. It's not a big garage by today's standards. Just a 2-car garage in anywhere USA suburb of the 70s. Room for 2 gas-guzzling cars common to that time, with a little space around the edges, not seen in most garages of suburbia today. Cars that I would love to have parked in a field as money in the bank for a future day. A monstrous water heater sits in the back corner, smirking at me. A long workbench stretches along the wall from the water heater to the entry door of the house. Along the back wall is a toolbox and a mishmash of other garagey things. Along the left side of the garage, there's only room for a small things, and this is where the fishing pole cabinet has its home. More of that fascinating place later. Big Carl has already been hard at work at one project or another this beautiful summer morning. Little beads of sweat adorn his forehead, and grease and oil stain his, to me, monstrous hands. At this age and time in my life, I hate the smell, the look, the feel of grease and oil. Grease and oil mean prison for me at this age. Locked away in that cavern of misery, twisting and turning wrenches, while the morning stretches on and my future is postponed. You see, my friend, this is the heart of the matter. As a boy, I never looked forward to the time I would spend with my dad. That time, for a boy of 11 years old, was supposed to be my time. My time was supposed to be with my blue on blue in glorious concentration as I performed my bunny hops, kickouts, and wheelies. I remember Big Carl asking me to fetch his 9/16 open-ended wrench or his dog killer screwdriver from the not-so-tidy toolbox as I remember it. I would search and search to no avail. I was sure it wasn't there. But Big Carl would come over, and after a little time, he would pick out the proper tool with little effort. Frustration would well up inside me and threaten to burst like an overfilled water balloon. Why would he subject me to this torture? I was clearly no help at all, and surely I must be a source of frustration for him. But he would return to his task, wrench on a stubborn bolt, tongue sticking out of the corner of his mouth until he finished his task. He would work until that task was complete, and only then would he withdraw that tongue from the corner of his mouth. As I sit and ponder my time, That was so precious to me as a free-spirited, snotty-nosed 11-year-old boy. I finally see what it really was. It was not my time, but our time. When Big Carl would come to find that proper tool that eluded me and made my mood black, he would ruffle my sandy hair on the top of my head with a gentle smile. Why did I never see that smile and gentleness then? Why did I not open my eyes and see that this was our time? Not my time, not his time, but our time. But that's the beauty of our memories. I can look back not on the feelings of an 11-year-old boy lost in the gloom of unrealized bunny hops, wheelies, and kickouts. I can peer back through time and space and remember our time. A time of togetherness, a time when I see that gentle smile and I feel that love and care from my Big Carl. I look back upon such memories now, and yes, I could reflect on that tongue sticking out of the corner of his mouth and remember what I didn't do that day. Remember there were no bunny hops, kickouts, and wheelies on that beautiful summer morning. But now I look back on what I did do, what we did. I can look back not on my time, but I can look back with my tongue sticking out of the corner of my mouth and remember our time. So may it be for you, my friend. May you reach down into your can, past what you weren't able to do, and find your own happy memories. They're there, maybe deep in your can, but they are there, I am sure. Take off your lid, peer inside, and may you find a memory, a time special to you and someone you love. May you find your own